Hello, this is Adam Pocious, and today's tech tip is how to utilize Q&A on Google Slides. So if you don't know what Google Slides is, go check out what Google Slides are because they're pretty cool. It's the ability to create a slideshow in the cloud using Google's product, Google Slides. You can save it in your drive, you can collaborate with other people, you have chats, you have a lot of great stuff that you can use just by default by utilizing slides. I use it for a lot of my presentations. But there is a new feature that they just added this May 2016 that is super awesome, and let me show it to you now because it actually changes the way that I use slideshows. Have you ever been there? You're giving a slideshow, you're giving a lecture, or maybe you're in a business meeting. You got to get some feedback, but you don't really want to be interrupted as you give that presentation. But you still need to know what's being asked, some of those questions that are out there. And you know the audience is thinking, well, I want to ask this question, but it's not really the proper moment. And sometimes when you move on, then they forget the question and then you don't ever get to ask it. Well, let me show you this. So you get into present mode, which I'll show you here. Probably have to scale this guy down so you can kind of see how this works. So you get to your presenter view, which sometimes you can utilize for speaker notes and different things like that, but they also have an audience tools. So you'll see these little tabs up here. You can check out your notes if you have any. If you're a pretty good speaker and you don't remember or don't need to use those notes, you're probably just going to be docked on this audience tools. Now, if you've already used it, you can use this continue with recent, and you'll understand what that means in just a moment. But because this is a newbie kind of thing, I'm showing you here, I'm going to hit start new. So what start new does is it gives you this URL. It's a shortened URL. It's pretty easy to type in if you have a smart device with you, such as a smartphone, an iPad, some sort of tablet like a Surface Pro or whatever you got. And so you're sitting there, you're watching this presentation, and the question just pops in your head, and you're like, I want to ask this question right now. Well, if you have your Google Audience Tools questions on, what's going to happen is, I'm going to move this out of the way, on all of your slides, up at the top, you can ask a question, and they'll just have to type in that URL and you'll be able to ask a question. How awesome is that? So it's going to be on every single slide that you go on with this point forth. So just as an example, kind of watch up here right now. If I decide to turn it off, it's going to disappear from the slides. So you do have to enable it to get those questions flowing in. And this is really just for you right here. So you might have this on a second screen or something like that. So you're going to pull that off to the second screen. I'm going to go ahead and turn it on. And now we got this URL. So let's grab this URL, and I'm going to pop into another browser window to really show you how this thing works. So you jump in, and now you have the ability to ask a question. So pretty awesome. Think about this on your smart device, smartphone, something like that. And so if you sign in, you can have your name posted on the question as it starts to go into the different feed. Now, everyone that has this URL will be able to see this feed, and it's really awesome. So let's ask a particular question. So you get your question in there, you hit submit, and boom, it's in your list. Everyone else will be able to see that question, and so will the presenter. So if you have the little presentation viewer window on here, it might be on another screen, you'd see this come in. But what really gets pretty awesome is that you have the upvote and downvote. So somebody might be able to upvote. I can't upvote my own right now. But if you have multiple questions in there and the audience is looking at this feed, they can upvote other questions and downvote other questions. And maybe at the end you have 800 questions because you did it in a big lecture hall. And then you can answer the top 20 or something like that because you had all the questions really vetted by the audience. So a very handy tool. Something that I absolutely think is going to change the way I do presentations. I know I've been using it quite a bit right now. So check it out. Google's presentation mode, so much awesome. Peace.